Hello, everyone, and welcome to Deadhaus Whispers. I'm your host, Calypso, as well as Faceless Mike, as
Greetings.
usual. And in Deadhaus Whispers, we talk about everything Deadhaus Sonata, a spiritual successor to Legacy of Kain. It's a narrative-driven action RPG in which you play the undead fighting the living. Deadhaus Sonata development is leading on PC, and it will support all major platforms. Probably, you name it, it'll maybe on there. So welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. And yeah, let's go. Let's get right into it. How are you doing, Mike?
Doing surprisingly well, especially after what we got to announce recently.
Yes, I'm super excited for today's topics. It's going to be a good episode.
We've a few things to go through, so just run through. We've got a certain art reveal. We have a certain engine to talk about. We have a very particular video that we're going to show. And then we're going to summarize a few of the things that have been going on lately.
Alrighty. So,
and as always, we must do the shilling.
Yes. Everyone, please check out deadhaussonata.com, where you can get all your Deadhaus Sonata news. That's HAUS, as in Deadhaus, like Bauhaus. We also have a bunch of merch. You can get the Old World merch campaign. That's still going on. You can get shirts, hoodies, tank tops with this Old World logo. Be one of the original OG boys. That's on the Deadhaus website as well. From the store link, deadhaussonata.com. Store link, designed by humans or Streamlabs, and there you go.
It'll all be connected in there. And as I so lovingly say on Wednesdays, the end is nigh, people. The countdown is real now. Like, it's getting close. We're getting close to the end of July, which means the Old World Founders Packs is gone. Now, the important part of that is not only do you get to brag about, I was there at the beginning, man. I seen it from the start. You get a ton of kick-ass, like, different cosmetic items in-game. Plus, one of the most important bits, bonus platinum. Like, I can't emphasize enough of that. You're going to want the cosmetic crap. So bonus platinum. That's the most important thing in the world. So anyone listening to this later on Spotify, if you're watching this on YouTube, down below here, deadhaussonata.com, check it out. Grab a Founders Pack. Grab some merch. You will want to be in part of this, especially after the big announcement. But before we get to the big announcement, Calypso, we must pardon our absence recently, but there was some stuff going on. And in our absence, there was a particular reveal, which I'm going to throw up right now. And what was shown was...
This is my favorite, I think, so far of our tarot card art reveals. The Mist Form. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Again, everybody, for those of you listening on Spotify, on the Deadhaus YouTube, there's the art reveal stream that they have for this tarot card reveal. So Deadhaus Sonata uses, just as a refresher, a tarot card system. It's like your skill tree within a skill tree, just to like put it in the most basic terms. And with each card that you have in your deck, comes with a piece of art, and this one right here is our Mist Form art for it, because vampires have different forms, and one of them is mist, and it is so good.
I just keep staring at this constantly. I keep going, is that Kain?
Oh yeah, it's totally Blood Omen. The moment I saw this, I was like, oh wow, it's just Blood Omen 2021. For those of you who played the original Blood Omen, the Mist Form, it's literally the exact same artwork, almost one-to-one, almost, only updated to a 2021 gorgeous.
I thought it was more of the Beguile one, you know, the disguise.
Oh yeah,
instead of the half Kain, half human, but this time it's Mist. Now, the real question that was being asked in the Discord before was, is he turning into Mist Form, or is he turning back into a vampire from Mist Form?
Ooh, that's good. That's a good question. I think it could go both ways. Maybe he's turning on one end. You could look at it on one end where he actually looks like he's turning back into human form, because the mist is like swirling around and curling and kind of going into a pattern where it's like reforming. So I can see that. But at the same time, it could be that it's blowing away and he's blowing into like the wind or something while he's turning into mist and like deforming or evaporating into mist.
See, from Scara, if we don't cover Old World, we riot. Yes,
Yes.
there will be Old World. Don't
This is
worry.
it's actually my
In
wallpaper
time.
now. This is my
Oh,
wallpaper
nice.
now. Literally, I'm
Bishop.
setting it as I do this.
Bishop, compared to Dance Macabre, the art style seems very different. So I wonder if we will see alt arts in the future. That's an interesting one.
That's a good one. I would love that. I wouldn't mind alternate art for each like tarot card.
So we're going to have 78 different cards with 78 different art styles per class. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
I mean, fan art, there could be like the user, when user content eventually comes down the road, way down the line. I can easily see the tarot cards getting like, redone art, like fan art or whatever. Just, I think this version looks cooler. So then you can throw it up and it's like just a texture pack or something.
I'm calling my spin to win now. I want my spin to win.
Oh, dude, I would love that. What do you think the art would be though for spin to win?
It has to be the 2 axes or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe no, I love this. I love the glow behind the vampire here in this. It reminds me of fire almost. It's got like a Halloweeny aesthetic a little bit for like lack of a better description.
I love the fact of if you zoom in, can I zoom in here? No. If you look here, you can see even his eye is turning into mist.
Yeah.
The red is bleeding out, and that's just stunning.
It's gorgeous.
I just love that. And I've been curious, I brought it up on the stream before as well. What are the mist form abilities going to be? Okay, there's obviously like time in mist form, but like, will we get a poison mist form? Will we get a blood mist form where we can just drain the blood from someone if we like, hover over them? Poison, an ice type one, because mist doesn't necessarily need to be like frozen, but it can be really cold to freeze someone. Heat, mist, steam,
Are they going to is it going to function in different ways? Like, let's say you have mist form in your deck, and like maybe there's a dodge move that you can use, but rather than rolling or just having a speed, like a quick speed dash, they do the whole Legacy of Kain Defiance thing where you turn into mist.
I was thinking that exactly. Maybe if you level it up, one of the nodes you can unlock in is dodge, mist dodge. So exactly what you said. Instead of rolling, you just kind of you phase.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. And you could phase through people and maybe like do damage that way or something.
Attack a guy, phase through him, backstab. The options there are nuts. I'm just dying to see what way it turns out and what will happen, because it'll be amazing.
It's gonna be awesome. It's definitely see now I recently on my YouTube, if you guys follow me, you can follow me on YouTube as the Necro Libriatus pending. And I released a video and with it I talk about everything we're talking about here, only like just really quickly gists. One of them is these mist card forms. Inform me, Mike, I could be wrong on this. I said that this wasn't the final version and this was just like, concept art, and then the final version we're going to get is going to be something more akin to the Dance Macabre, where it's like a 3D rendered almost image. Is that this, or is this the final version?
No, this is apparently this. I've been told this is the final artwork.
Alrighty, so
you just haven't seen it in card form because they're going to be there's alterations and stuff like that. So like, it needs to be done. Hi, Sherry. It's going to be done in different versions. So, basically this is the artwork. You just haven't seen it with the trim the same way as we had with the Dance Macabre, but that's the art.
Yeah. Cool. Super excited. This also brings me to thinking, if like, I can't remember, what do you think mist is going to be under the magical state, you think, right?
That's what I think.
Will there be physical and essential versions of this card, perhaps? And the physical version is like, maybe rather than turning into mist form, you turn into just like a giant glob of floating blood or something. I'm just theorizing here. A giant glob.
I don't think there'll be different versions, but I do think there'll be different unlocks on this. You get me?
like Mistform version 1, 2, 3, 10,
Yeah,
20.
so like as the graph, it's kind of like it's not necessarily a skill tree because it's a graph because some of them will go out in different directions or all in one way and stuff like that. So like maybe there'll be two sides to it. There will be an offensive and defensive, as Bishop is mentioning there. So maybe one is forms and the other is abilities. So like time frame, maybe you can unlock the ability to drain blood, like we were saying, or poison or freeze and stuff like that. I don't know what way that's going to go. I genuinely don't know that, and I'm really dying to see that. In regards to the different aspects, no, I have a feeling that the forms will be the different aspects. So maybe werewolf is vitality, mist,
Oh
magical,
yeah, yeah.
werebat, essential, or something to that akin.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It'll
that's
be
it's
interesting to
really.
find out, though.
I love what they did. I just love everything about this piece. Like I like how they incorporated the armor into it, how it's clearly Zorn. It's clearly, to me anyway, I see Zorn from this rather than like just generic vampire. Um because of the armor, and it just looks, it's so good. Seriously, guys, if you're listening, go. I might even make this the thumbnail. I'm not sure. Like this is just such a good piece of art. It's you
Scara
guys can
saying,
find
I
this.
need that
I need
armor.
that armor. I do need that armor. It's amazing. You can find the original stream where they reveal it, and it's a better visuals on the Deadhaus YouTube. It's even, I think it's even the title of it is like art reveal tarot card, and there it is right there. So yeah, definitely check this out. It looks amazing, guys. It's
And
really really good.
speaking of reveal, Calypso, I
Yes,
believe we had another one. Let me just get this out here. I believe we had another reveal recently.
I believe so. I believe it was
And it
yesterday.
was one, yeah. It's almost like it was very, very recent. I'm just going to pull it up here. If you want to pull in our little segue, as someone who works in game development, I'll let you
Yes.
take the lead.
All right, so I am super excited about this. This is the O3DE engine, and it is a new engine that is being worked on by Dennis Dyack, by Apocalypse Studios, and a bunch of other people. Linux Foundation is behind it. It's a Linux foundation like based engine pushing everything forward. Super super exciting. What this is, it's an open source game engine, the O3DE engine, or O3DE. It's not Amazon Lumberyard. Just because Amazon is part of this project and helping with it doesn't mean it's Amazon
It's
Lumberyard.
not even
It's a
close.
base engine. I've dipped into the source code and the GitHub code a little bit. It's not Amazon Lumberyard. It might be taking and borrowing and using things from like CryEngine and everything, but it's very much a from the ground up game engine, open source game engine. You can go, any aspiring coders and programmers out there, look this up. Look up the Open3D engine, or O3DE. Look up the GitHub, dig into the code if you want. What this is it's an open source engine, so anybody can go in and dig into this engine
Yeah.
and build from it. Take things from it that you want maybe in your own engine or whatever, and you're good to go. Expand upon this engine and make it better. You're good to go. It's a fully open source, anybody can take a crack at it engine.
As to read it there, open source real-time 3D development engine. The Open3D engine, or O3DE, is an Apache 2.0 licensed multi-platform 3D engine that enables developers and content creators to build AAA games, cinema-quality 3D worlds, and high-fidelity simulations without any fees or commercial obligations. Hey, Shiny. Create AAA games and high-fidelity simulations. O3DE has been developed with cutting-edge real-time graphics, complex interactions in mind. Create robust, engaging experiences with O3DE's multi-threaded, photorealistic renderer, extensible, I'll get those words right one day, 3D content editor, data-driven character animation system, real-time physics engine, and access to a growing open-source community. And what should really excite anyone that's a fan of Deadhaus? Do y'all recognize this room? Do y'all know this?
I didn't know. I didn't notice that
I
until
know
you pointed it
Shiny
out.
knows this room.
it looks almost like an octahedron and some
Yeah,
triangles.
yeah.
Yeah.
It almost looks like there's a throne here.
I wonder what that could be.
Then it says, built for extensibility, O3DE's modular architecture is built for customization from day one. Each one of O3DE's integrated components, called gems, can be adopted separately, giving you access to specific functionality needed for your games or applications. Add new editing tools, features, development workflows to your project, or choose from a variety of community-maintained gems to extend and enhance the engine's capabilities. That means it's potentially infinitely upgradable. Integrate with your favorite cloud services. O3DE's GEM system provides integrations and support for cloud services to add functionality to games and simulations. Choose from existing backend cloud modules or create your own gems with custom capabilities to bring your favorite cloud services to life. So like this has been developed in conjunction with dedicated members, including Adobe, AWS, that's Amazon Workstation, Huawei, I'll never get that right, Intel, Niantic, and a lot of others. So like there's little tutorial videos and information on all of this. Because like here, if you take a look, like it's got the Atom renderer, talks about AWS gems, it talks about popcorn, it talks about like there's a load of stuff involved in all of this, and it is incredible. And thanks to Mr. Dyack last night, we have another character reveal here.
Yeah. So that's I can't remember his name.
Rostad.
Rostad, yes. Generic Sentry number 3. No.
Rostad, he's a nut. Yeah.
Like
I need to keep my mouth shut on that.
So this right here, this picture of Rostad that we see, and the other picture of Deadhaus with the pyramids down below, it's like because this is such an early in development engine, but the fact that they already have this level of visual fidelity here just means it can only get better. And I've said that in a video recently.
This is it out the gate. Better.
Yeah, it's like we were talking about this before the show.
Apparently, I have to say it Huawei.
Okay. So Huawei. We were talking about this a little bit earlier, but it takes a madman to build a game engine as well as make a game at the exact same time. The Masters of Doom, Carmack and Romero and Peterson did it with Doom and Quake. Valve did it with Half-Life, where they built their own engines while building a game at the same time, and we got masterpieces out of those. So the fact that you have an open source engine headed by the dudes from Linux, which means it's the most secure / open thing available that anybody can dig into and only improve upon with thousands and thousands of people, only means that this engine's potential ability is limitless and will only get better. So you have guys like CD Projekt Red who built their own Red engine, and its visual fidelity is ridiculous. It's out the roof. And that's their own in-house engine. With this, you like instead of couple hundred people working on it, you have thousands upon thousands of people because anybody can go in and dive into this thing. Epic did it with Unreal Engine during the development for one of the Unreal Tournament as well, right? Yes, Epic also did it, Cornson. Thank you. So yes, and then like the whole thing is this is also free. I'm using Unreal 4 right now, but the whole problem is if I want to release a game with Unreal 4 for my game, I have to pay a crap ton of money to Unreal. And not only that, they take a certain percentage of my earnings. They take like 25% or something ridiculous. With that,
or
if I want to use this game on Unreal, or I can use this, which it's free and no one's going to charge me. With Unity, there's $100 fee every single time you want to release a game. Not to mention though, whatever fee it is to upload your game on Steam, regardless. So that's like a couple $100 right there out the gate. With this, there's no money involved. There's no one's going to charge me if I want to use this engine. It's all 100% free to use. The only thing though is that this is still incredibly early in development. If you download it and want to use it or whatever, good luck. I highly encourage that. Not for me right now, but if you're a builder and you're a madman and you want to go and dig in and start building an engine and helping with this project, go right ahead. The GitHub is already up and available. You just got to Google O3DE Engine GitHub and you're good to go.
Hey, that's show them what it looks like.
Yeah, let's show them what it looks like.
That's what I've wanted to do. We'll show them what it looks like. Now, I'm hoping this works correctly.
Hopefully.
Let's hope
See.
this all goes according to plan.
Looks good.
Let's get our volume up here. I hope this will go. Can you hear that?
I got nothing.
Maybe the audio's for the best then.
Maybe. Nope. It's muted.
No
but
audio.
At least
You
it
can
looks good.
We'll talk over it and then do that, because at least that'll stop any copyright issues in regards to that.
That's true.
This is it running. This is it running. Mike, you fool. Nothing ever goes. It never does. If it goes according to plan, well, the other side is it can't go according to plan if you don't make plans.
Mm-hmm.
That's the trick. But anyway, that probably sits me with audio issues, because I have a bad feeling Twitch likes to misbehave in regards to copyright issues, even though I have full permission to share this. But anyway, if you want to check it out, you can see there the old world on O3DE Engine. Just search Deadhaus Sonata on YouTube. Trust me, it's the #1 thing on it. But look at that, dude. I'm just going to keep replaying this, and you can tell
go
me
ahead. The whole thing with this is, if I recall what Dennis said during the reveal yesterday, is that everything in this trailer, from the lighting and everything to the camera positioning, is procedurally generated. Nothing was animated here. It's all procedurally generated, done in the O3DE engine, in this new engine. The lighting will change. Some people commented on the shadows. Yes, the lighting changes depending on the perspective of the scene.
It's dynamic lighting.
Yeah, dynamic lighting. It's all real-time lighting. The mouth, Shiny even pointed this out, I believe yesterday as well. The mouth is actually using a new technology called Jali, where you get the recording of someone's voice, throw it into these parameters, and the AI that's behind Jali will listen to the voice and analyze it, and then get the proper mouth movement and lip syncing as well. And you can tweak it to your ability as well, but generally it gets the whole thing done. The guys at Cyberpunk 2077 also used the Jali technology for their mouths. When you switch,
it all keeps covering it over there, but just to say, in the bottom left hand corner, for anyone who doesn't know, that says in engine. This is in game. Yes. This is what Deadhaus Sonata actually looks like running.
Looks pretty good to me. You guys can check this out on YouTube. It's the old world O3DE engine. Trust me, when you type in O3DE engine, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the first thing that'll pop up to YouTube. And there's such a Conan vibe with this that I love. I love that this is just straight up the ending of Conan the Barbarian, where he's sitting on the throne and he's all sad. But I love this. I love everything.
And the one that Dennis brought up as well on the stream is they're saying, "Oh, the hair doesn't look right." Yeah, the hair's not finished.
No,
there's certain extra effects to go over and with that, so that the hair is actually dynamic movement and all. When you see that done, you can see it in the stills where the in-game model for that is. It looks incredible.
Yeah.
But again, it's one thing to have a man sitting; it's another to have an army in motion. Yes. Oh, soon, Lord Scarra. Soon, very soon. And they iterate on this one. If you go check out the stream for Deadhaus Sonata that I was on last night, we run through some character turnarounds where we showed the community assisted design, might I point out, for the Legionnaire. In-game, the in-game character model, there was a 3D rotation around him, both full-bodied and up close. One for Lord Zoran, who looks badass.
I love it. I love the Zoran one. That's fantastic.
And one for Rostad, which, again, looks awesome. I'm surprised Scar didn't jump in with, I need that armor.
Yeah, no, I love the just the fact that, again, this is all in game from this new engine, and it looks this good already, is saying something that it will you can bump this thing up to 11 and keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going.
Yeah, you were saying, Calypso, this is it out the gate. Yeah. This isn't even it at 100%.
No. And it'll only get better over time.
By the way, do you like the hammer?
I do like the hammer. I did notice the hammer just now. And I believe it's a bloody hammer, right? Is it bloody, or is it just the lighting?
That's the lighting. That's Nagaztak's hammer.
That's the Hand Aztec's hammer. Okay,
That's a
that big boy.
special hammer.
I love it. I love the throne that he's sitting on the throne. It's so good. It's so Legacy of Kain right here. It's so like Conan. It's oh man, it just I can gush over this all day. Hammer time.
It's just even the damage in his armor and all like that. Like with the particles floating around and everything, it's just incredible.
Yeah, it's great. It's really great. Like,
I love the fact that with his crown, his skull's exposed.
Is it? I didn't even notice that. Is it?
Did you never see that with Nagaztak? That's his skull.
Oh, that's nuts.
You didn't notice that in the still images either,
I didn't notice that at all. Whoa. Oh, that's crazy. That's even cooler now, man.
You didn't see that before? You didn't notice? He had nothing on the top of his head. I had to laugh. Someone was saying the lip syncing's off. How can the lip syncing be off? He doesn't have lips.
Yeah, he doesn't have lips. Like
he doesn't even have a nose.
I will admit that to me the animation looks a bit wonky, but that is because it's using a bunch of different technologies or whatever that I don't think our eyes are used to yet.
Someone was saying when we were chatting in Discord earlier that one of the problems is you're so used to seeing video games with the lips not being quite in sync. So when you see one where it is in sync, it doesn't look right, because Shiny insisted that like she slowed this down, and apparently she's a lot of experience in this, in the phonetic like movement of the lips when pronouncing words, that this matches up.
Yeah.
So I can only take her word for it, but it matches up. No, so that's why, like, how often do you see in a video game where the front lips protrude like that?
Exactly.
Like,
you don't.
We'll go back a little bit there. You see where it's
often, like they often cut corners. They often cut corners when it comes to someone's mouth moving and lip syncing.
That's it. Yeah, breathing is a forgotten function in a lot of games. Yes. Yeah, so like depending on breath, like talking is just the movement of air back and forth through your like voice box, your throat. Yeah. So like that is a factor in it. It's
just it's crazy. It's just really it's interesting. And once again, I think the more like, you know, we start to see more of this in motion, and the more like the technology gets updated, and even this like new Jolly technology for the lips and everything, the more that starts to get used in video games, because only like a couple have been using it so far. I think is when people will start to like warm up to this and like will be less critical. Once again, it's still an early in development engine, but it looks this friggin' good. So you can't fault a group of people for releasing something from a new engine that looks this friggin' good and having the confidence to do so.
That's the funny part there. So Bishop brings up a really interesting one. You also have issues with the language. You can't line up everything with every language. If it's procedurally generated, you can.
Yes. And with this new Jolly technology, you can change the language on site. All you need to do, the way this technology works is it's AI driven. So it will the technology will listen to the voice sounding, will attach itself to whatever game model you have, and then will think around the phonetics of the language and the movement of the language and the lips and the tongue clicking and everything like that, and even like the breathing patterns, and you can adjust it to where it's all mouth or just a little mouth or no lips. CD Projekt Red has a video of it. If you just Google like Jolly Cyberpunk 2077 or something, they have an entire showcase that's like 40 minutes long of them detailing this technology for their game for Cyberpunk 2077, and the way how they used it for, instead of having to hand animate it in Polish and Chinese and Japanese and American and Russian and stuff, they used this technology and it did it all for them, and it's flawless. You can't even tell the difference. It's crazy.
Now, let's extrapolate on that, right? With this technology, with O3DE, and then using it with Taffy, which we discussed the last time, you have your in-game character. Theoretically, and this is the idea, I can take the data for my character and make my character as a VTuber. So I could be my character on stream. When you add this concept with that, that will work perfectly as I'm talking. It will mirror my speech. You throw that in with Modulate, who they're also teamed up with for the voice masking, and I can sound however I want. Not just that, as Dennis pointed out last night, they have a system whereby, and it doesn't screw over the actors. This works really well for the actors, in fact. They can have George record language, record saying certain words, phrases, and all like that to get a voice map for George. They can put that through Modulate. Then they can have, with running with the way the O3DE stuff is, they can then, if you made a new quest, you can have Nagaztak say whatever you want him to say. George will still get a cut. So every time Nagaztak's used, George voice Nagaztak, it'll be licensed. So the voice actor will always get a cut, but they won't need to necessarily come in and do the work. They've already done the work, and it just keeps getting reused and reused. So let's say, Calypso, you want to make a level. At the end of your level, Nagaztak rewards you with an item and gives a small little speech that you've picked up. You could have that happen.
Yes. I believe that voice skinning technology was used recently in a Witcher 3 mod. I think there's been some controversy around it. This modder created an entire mission, fan-made mission or whatever, and it rather, than having the money to shell out to pay Doug Cockle and all the other voice actors thousands and thousands of dollars to hire them, he used this technology. He typed what he wanted
the voice skinning stuff
to say. Yeah. He typed in what he wanted Geralt and everything to say, and he fed all the audio from Witcher 3 and a bunch of other Witcher games into the system, and it shuffled around to where it would be working sentences, and it would sound like he's voice acting it. And it's mind-blowing that this technology exists now.
It's difficult to fight against the onward march of tech, but I do like the fact that with this system, the actors will still get paid.
Yes, because all you need to, the way you would, a way to set this up, I think, would be George goes into the booth and records thousands and thousands of hours of dialogue and just words. He literally reads the dictionary, reads every single word in the dictionary, multiple ways, uploads it to whatever website that Deadhaus is going to host, paying these guys. Someone buys it, George gets paid, and then you have all this stuff that when you go into this software and type it in, because George has recorded thousands and thousands of hours, it'll read all that dialogue and form the sentences from it to where it'll just sound like it's natural acting, it's George actually saying these things.
So that's a really good way so that voice actors can get a lot more in perpetuity with the advancement of the new tech. I do like that. So that way you're not stifling tech because of people, but people also aren't getting sidelined and taken advantage of and abused because there's good tech that's not making them need to work as much every day. If anything, it's a win-win on all sides.
Oh yeah, definitely. You have things like Cameo now for voice actors where you can pay them to, say some things and everything, which is cool. And then that's part of it. But now you have this other thing where they can, get paid constantly by having someone buy their voice pack for $30, $40, $50, whatever it is, So it's they're for the voice actors way, it's just another way of income for them, which is awesome. It's nice, especially if you factor in community created content for all that stuff. You could, potentially hire Simon Templeman, have him read a bunch of stuff, random crap, and then someone can get that in Deadhaus as well. You just buy the Simon voice pack. There you go.
Oh, don't start that. There's going to be some Kane fan-made stuff.
Oh, definitely.
I know that one well under the current system. Sure. Did you guys ever watch the cartoon with the Roadrunner? Of course. Did you know that the voice actor never recorded Meet Me? She only recorded it one time and a one-time deal for a low amount of dollars. Then they made it. The iconic sound and reused it, and she never got anything extra, no royalties. I'd heard that before. And I don't know how true that is or not, but it does sound like the kind of shady business that would have been happening back in the day quite frequently. where they just like paid for the most minimum of everything.
Mhm.
And I don't support that, but unfortunately that's the way it went.
Yeah,
Although
I think the way to structure it is, um, I mean, it would have to be an ethical way to do it, and I think
yeah.
the only way to really do it is, hey, we're gonna pay you we're gonna hire you like a regular voice actor. We're just gonna have you, record a bunch of random crap. Okay, bam. So there's a fee. They get charged for that already. And then
Mm.
because this is your voice and someone's buying it, the only thing is you're going to get most of it, but we're going to take a percentage, so we still make money from it.
Criminal.
As it is to do, it's like it's our game or whatever. Like if I was making a game and I wanted to hire George, I hire George, I pay him thousands of dollars. He records the voice for me, but then I'm like, hey George, do you want to do a voice pack for me? He's like, okay. So I pay George another couple of $1,000. He records a bunch of crap. Then George's voice pack is there so anybody can buy it. Then they buy it for like 30 or $40. I take like maybe 10% or something, and George gets the rest. Like that's the only real way I can factor this in. It's almost like buying DLC for voice
Well, it
acting.
is like it's work. It's someone's work. Corenson saying doing it ethically is working against the profits, mate. Well, it is and it isn't. You can do it in such a way that everyone wins. I do love one thing, if you've noticed down here.
Oh yeah, it is changed. Cool.
Those were very quickly
O3DE.
made sure. Because that's been waiting there. There was another thing in front of that for a while.
I feel with this new engine, also the new commerce to the industry will be willing to sign horrible deals without bad payouts and no royalties to get in the industry, eventually pushing out the oldies but goodies.
Well, that's what happens in every industry. That's what happens with music, bands, and all like that. I remember Nikki Sixx saying one of the best advice. What's the best advice you can give to an upcoming or a new musician? He's like, hold on to your masters. They belong to you.
Yeah. Like I feel with with this whole new engine and this is definitely going to be a game changer for the industry, and I think now is the perfect time for it. Like 10 years ago with GameFly and OnLive and even like the recent bombing that was Stadia, I feel they all had the right ideas, but
they're still trying to push out games for that.
They're still trying to push out games for Stadia. I feel they all had the right ideas for it, but it wasn't the right time, and you didn't have enough people behind the thing. Now we're at a point where this open engine here, everything is cloud-based, like the systems and all the technology that's being pushed out with Deadhaus and with this engine and everything else. We're going to see a shift eventually where all the big companies like Epic and Valve and all these other guys, they're gonna be like, this is really cool. And then it's just another factor within the game industry. And I think it'll be definitely something for the indie scene as well. Rather than relying on Unity, this might be the next engine that all the indie developers like jump to use because it's free.
Oh, that'll be one of the main things that pushes it forward.
Yeah, you only have a thing where this is the beginning of it, and it can only get higher. And where it will go is, remains to be seen. But I think it'll be definitely a game changer for the industry, with people trying to, advance technology and the gaming system, and especially with all these big companies wanting to make as much money as possible. They're going to latch onto this thing and try to milk it for all it's worth in some way, shape, or form. But nobody's gonna jump onto whatever they do.
I still have to love it that, like, I've read some of the comments earlier. Let's see, can I pull it up here? I'm still flabbergasted. People they want to criticize this because you've got your Epic fanboys and all these other ones and all like that. Can I just point out, here's our vampire. Here's my boy, Lord Zoran. That's an in-game model for a free-to-play ARPG. That's story-driven. Those words make games companies' heads go. They can't figure it out. Even though the vast majority of the top games in the world right now making the most money are free to play. People are like, oh, but there's stupid mobile games. Fortnite, Apex Legends, Warframe, Pillars of Eternity. There's dozens. That's the way it's going. This is how it's done. People are just shocked at the free. We shall call him We Shook. But yeah, like this is the way it's designed. As like, keep in mind, guys, you want to check out any of this stuff, head on over to deadhausesonata.com. You see in the corner there, like you'd get the high, because like this stream compression's crap. It's never going to be as good as you go and check this out on your own monitor. It looks nuts. Like I've seen this guy move. Holy crap.
Yeah, like it's I think once again, I don't think this is definitely something that it's like the what is it, like the Jesus theory, you know, you have to see it to believe it or whatever.
Doubting Thomas.
Yeah, Doubting Thomas, thank you. It's gonna be like, I still, even though we have a actually moving the gas tach, doing the old world speech in this new engine, I still can't believe it. You know what I mean? My brain hasn't processed that this is real yet. So it's, and the fact that a lot of us and a lot of the general public are used to, as Dennis says, you know, people are really used to seeing games 3 months before they're shipped, and they just say it's an alpha version or whatever. When
Really hey, who wants to beta test the game even though it's ready to go out the door?
So, but the fact that you can dive into this engine right now, it's on the GitHub, and like open it and download it and see everything that it has to offer at this point in time is it's just phenomenal. I think it's a really great thing for the industry to do, especially for like up and coming developers or enthusiasts and everything like that. And when you have a company like Linux, when you have the dude who runs Linux is behind this, that means it can only be a good thing, because it's friggin' Linux. Finally, Linux users, something for Linux.
Yes. Right? And the funny part is, I think it's because a lot of people are doubting, and I'm not throwing shade on that, because people have gotten burnt with a lot of games lately, right? So like Chronicles of Illyria, you know, certain people who want to sell tiles on a grid of Google Maps, not naming names, but I could understand that. That's where the funny part of the fact that this is free to play. No one needs to put any money down on this. You will get to play this. You won't get to play in the first age, but third age gates are kicked open. This is free to play. This is going to be a free to play thing. And I distinctly remember you're saying people don't believe this. They have the whole Doubting Thomas scenario. I remember showing people Warframe on my PlayStation 4, on the PS4 now, mind you, not PC, PS4. People didn't believe it. They're like, this can't be free to play. It is.
Yeah.
They just couldn't believe the concept, because, oh, what is it? Is it like you have to buy loot boxes or something? No. They have an ethical business model.
Yeah,
and Apocalypse is going to be even more ethical.
We're at that point still where I think it's going to take a really long time for people to finally to get over that hill of free to play is bad and free to play is evil, because the companies right now behind free to play games aren't very ethical about it, minus the Warframe guys. Like, so there's that stigma there, and it's not going to go away for a long time until, you know, something starts to show actual change. And I'm not jinxing it here, or knock on wood, or crossing my fingers or whatever. But I think that this O3DE engine and just the whole Linux guys behind it, and the fact that you have Dennis and a bunch of other companies, you know, openly supporting this and trying to push this forward to make it the new thing, means that it'll actually get somewhere, and that it'll start to be, it'll be a really slow change, but it'll be a change nonetheless. And yes, Skara, I totally agree with you that that this engine may result in less pixelated and like 8-bit throwback games because of the visual fidelity that you can get out of this. Like Atomic Heart is one of the games that I've been hoping for and looking forward to for a really long time. By an indie Russian studio, but they're using a really powerful visual, like they're using like Unreal whatever for it, and they're using RTX and everything for Atomic Heart. Now that indie studio or indie studios in general can use something like this and get visual quality that looks this good without having to break the bank for it, you know? And I think that's the main selling point. You won't have to break the bank for it because there is no selling point. It's free, you know?
You're only limited by your own art
Yeah, exactly.
ability
You're
and
only limited by your own
creativity.
artistic vision. I think the easiest way to explain this, and I said this to you earlier, Mike, is that with this engine, imagine all the Unity asset developers and all the Unreal Engine asset developers who just go in, make a bunch of crap, and then try to sell it on the Unreal store or the Unity store. Imagine they all got together and started to build their own engine and work on it themselves. That's pretty much this.
That's going to be the way it goes in the future. You're going to see like Etsy or Fiverr versions of, hey, I can make you soldiers, or hey, you know, I can make you these characters and whatnot, and for your video game. So you'll be able to have those put in. That in itself, if you just use the whatever 3D sculpting tool you want for these things, that will, like, you could go with a career in that, like, alone. So you could have someone that literally all they do all day, you take back to Open3D, I design characters, that's all I do, and I can make them. And instead of having to worry about getting a job with a company or putting up a portfolio, hey, look, I make characters for O3DE, here's them on like Etsy, Fiverr, or whatever. I charge this amount for them, you know, send me X amount of bucks, I'll send you the file, you can use this in your video game. And you can use them in all.
Scar
it's already happening with
VTuber models. Yeah, it is.
So imagine your own OC VTuber that's also your character in your video game.
Yeah.
Oh God, how long before PewDiePie has one?
I'm surprised he doesn't already, but he might soon. Who knows? I think it's an untapped. I don't want to say market. Rather untapped. It's not untapped. It's just it's a new
genre of work.
Yeah, there you go. A new genre of work. And it's something, yeah, it's a new genre of work.
We've developed because of this pandemic and because of the way the world has changed lately. The idea of freelancing, a mixture of working from home and freelancing, is now become like a weird version of meta freelancing. So you could be working with multiple companies, but you still work from home with your own workstation using your stuff to do different things. And like, it's opened up a lot of companies to work. Like, I think it's hilarious because I keep seeing it here. There's lots of companies that want to move to getting people to go back into the office. You prove people can work from home. You have improved your workload while taking mountains of stress off your employees. Why would you ever want to change that? The vast majority has shown the productivity went up, and so did happiness when people were able to work from home. So if you don't need to be in a factory, you know, stamping things and all like that, if there's the ability for people to work from home, that should be the future. I've been a big advocate of that for years. And if people want to and have the ability to, it should be there. This allows for that.
I would say the problem with not working from home and rather working in an office would be, okay, everybody is side by side. So rather than, you know, having to wait for Bob or John to answer an email or a message on Slack of whether this concept art is good enough or whether the character model is good enough or whatever, I can just be like, hey, Bob or John, is this good enough? And like, they're right next door to me in my cubicle. That's the only advocate I can see for people wanting to work in an office. But at the exact same time, the counterpoint to that is you have Slack and you can just email them. And yes, because you can't micromanage your employees. Exactly. That's the whole thing. I think there's some creative space where it's okay to have an office or whatever, and if that's your thing, the creative outlet that you get within an office and with everybody by each other works because that flow is there. It's a constant flow. But when you're at home, it's kind of like everyone's chill, laid back, and you know they're doing their own thing, which is fine. So. But like that's the whole other thing. You can't micromanage your employees, which
that's the funny part there. We got Scottish Geeks plays. Yep, I just finished recording 4 characters for an audiobook from our couch. More relaxed.
Yes, more
Funny
relaxed.
story to that, Calypso. Scottish Geeks here actually done some work on an audiobook with our very own vampire Chris.
That's awesome.
Very small world.
That's awesome. I've been trying to get into audiobook reading forever. It's just I'm really
You've
lazy.
got the voice for it, dude.
I'm really lazy, and like reading a book hurts my eyes.
You're
It's like-
arguing introvert versus extrovert sensibilities.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I do think I've known plenty of extroverts who work from home. They do it well, you know? Yeah, extrovert. I always found that weird because technically, if you're a Twitch streamer, you're both.
Yeah, you're both. You have to be able
You're
to
an
go out of your
extrovert,
way.
but I don't want to be around anyone. Just be in here on my own, on my computer. But I want to be in front of lots of people talking. And
Yes.
gaming.
Why do you think the middle management, HR, and upper management don't want the drones to work from home and show they are obsolete? Also true, I suppose. I think the whole thing is that if everyone's working from home, you can't manage like their hours, and you can maybe even work your own hours. Personally, for me, when I put out videos or whatever, I'm a late night kind of guy. I literally laze around all day, play video games, and watch
Right
TV.
here.
And then I work on videos at like 10 or 11 at night, and then I upload them the next day, or I bang them out within like an hour really quickly, and that's my work for today. And it's like a rush job. I have no real set schedule of when I do things. The whole thing with working in an office is that, you got to wake up at 6 a.m. and you're there until 9 p.m. and yada, 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 yada. It's the worst thing ever. So
I never
as long as
understand
someone's getting their
companies.
work done.
Yeah, I don't understand companies' ideas for it, man. Because, like, okay, you've got commuting. That's its own pain in the ass.
Yes.
Then, like, the cost and all the issues around that, whether you're the kind of person that has to take the bus or maybe you own a car, so that's more expense and wear and tear on the car, petrol, yada, yada, right? So then we get to the office. You have to bring your lunch or you have to buy your lunch. There you go. Now we've got a building. Everyone's in the building. The company has to pay for the building. They have to heat the building. They have security for the building, all of this stuff. They can just get rid of that.
Yeah. Exactly. So why would you have more money potentially going towards your game, your big budget game or whatever, if you don't pay for an office? I don't get it. You have thousands upon thousands or even millions of dollars saved by not paying for the electricity bill, by not paying for the building license or whatever.
Building, insurance, like having to pay for security guards, security systems, locking systems, people coming in and out, receptionists, post office clerks, canteen staff, all of this crazy stuff that just isn't necessary.
Like I said, I think the only argument I see with an office is a good thing is that all the creative people that are working on your game are all in the same space. So you have kind of an energy there and a flow that you don't get when everyone is working at home.
Well, that's a counter argument. That's an acceptable argument. I could see, okay, well, there is an issue. Now, how do we deal with that? I can see those arguments, but a lot of them have just gone to, no, we have to go back to this way. Why? Because that's how it's done. That's not an argument, though, is it? That's just you like throwing your toys out of the pram because you want your way, irrelevant of how other people feel.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, Scar brings this up. What about mechanics and the dirty job guys? Like, what about? Well, I mean, there's thing.
Yeah, there's always going to be jobs that can't be done from home. Like, for example, barbers. I know there's some people that work with having a barber like come to their house, or maybe the barber works from home. But I mean, physical jobs still exist. And until it ever gets to the point where those are automated, although I still think there'll always be a percentage of human jobs that require a human touch, those are fine. The barber will still be the barber, the mechanic will still be the mechanic. But like the poor drones in call centers, I know I'm going to throw my hand up. I've been one. I'd say most people have at some point or another worked in a call center. Would it really have mattered that much to work from home? Because I've done those jobs from home as well. They're almost as bad. But at least there's the comfort of doing it from home.
There's a lot of call centers now that it's just from home. They send you a little box. You hook it up to a monitor and you plug everything in and boom, there you go. There's your computer and there's your system and everything's there and you just work from home. And then like, it's the easiest thing ever. I did it for a couple months, and you put on a television show or whatever and just wait for a call, and there you go. Easiest
the
$15 of my life.
the relaxation, the fact that it made the job so much easier. And I know they say you have to get dressed and you have to do this, that, and the other to make sure get yourself into the mental headspace of going to work. But the fact that I can rock up to work in the morning in the PJ pants, man, that in the comfy pants, the comfy around the house pants, not necessarily PJ pants, but the fluffy ones you wear around the house.
Got them on right now. Got them on right now.
The fact that you could work all day like that, it's so much better on the comfort scale, isn't it?
Oh yeah. And it's easier for the mind. I think a lot of people stress and freak out, if you're in an office, and it's a definite the moment people get to work and clock in, they want to go home immediately. But if you're home already, that feeling isn't there because you're home already. So the only thing is like, okay, well, I better get to work now. That's it. That's it.
Well, that's your own headspace. I can't
wait to get off work. I can't wait to get on break or whatever when you're in an office or something. Yeah.
I've worked with some of those people. Now, it does take a certain level of maturity, but you assume after a certain age, most people have that. Unfortunately, there are those that don't. There are some people that can't work from home because they just won't be able to leave the PlayStation alone. You're just like, I've actually been in those meetings where we're waiting for a meeting to start to just hear it's the unforgettable noise of the PS4 that beep, and the noise is like, dude, come on. Like, we're trying to be a little bit professional, and easier to have a cooling shower when you get to work. Exactly.
Yeah.
Any of the thing, I definitely think it definitely helps quite a bit being able to work from home and the advantages of being able to do that over other things. Now, it's not for everyone, but I think it should be a primary option if people choose to.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're in that field. But for example, like I said, mechanics, hairdressers, those things aren't that option. But if you're a mechanic, that's not an option. You're aware, Yeah. Now, all the way back to what we're doing. Oh, yes. The one last thing I wanted to bring up is, we've mentioned it a few times now. Don't forget to check out last night's stream, which would have been from the 7th of the 7th. If you go onto the YouTube page for Deadhaus Sonata, again, Deadhaus Sonata. You need to check out the latter half of the stream. Well, you should check out the whole stream because it's listening to Dennis go on about this engine. Who will sell it and explain it far better than we ever could.
Yeah, definitely.
But towards the latter end, there is the turnarounds for the characters. And there was a little surprise character I'm not going to pull up because I think you should go check it out. But who was the surprise, Calypso?
Yes, you actually get to see the Banshee in yesterday's stream. Again, it's on the Deadhaus YouTube. It's not fully finished. Even Dennis says it's not fully finished, but the rough work that they have there for it is astounding. I fell in love all over again. I think she's beautiful. I think all the lighting is amazing. Her eyes are just hypnotic. It's so good. The Banshee is amazing. You get to see the
I can pull up a particular friend of ours' Twitter, and we'll just give it just a little preview.
Just a bit. It's so good. Yeah. Oh baby, she's so good. I highly recommend checking out that stream, guys, and seeing the Banshee. Even this rough work of her is still super good.
That's the unfinished in-game model, but can you see those pores? Look at that.
Yeah, the fact that you can see.
This is a shout out, thanks to Shiny Breed. This is from Shiny's Twitter. She was on the post. Just giving fair shout out. That's her girl. Want to feel the old Pokemon Go is 5 years old. I know.
Oh my God!
I'm
really?
one of those people that downloaded it at the beginning. Yes. Wow. She looks dangerous. Those eyes look dead.
She does. Scary. I love it. I think the lighting works really well. It's great.
Dude, she looks like she'd eat you alive.
And this is just her, I guess, physical form, not even her full different Banshee, like spectral form or whatever. Like oh man, I can't wait to see that one. But yes, check out the stream, check out the full model. This is just an up close face version. Deadhausonata.com. The stream's on YouTube, guys. Check it all out. Check it all out. It's amazing. Go check out the O3DE
I love
engine.
that. Calypso, I said she would eat you alive, dude. And
some would
Scara
let
had to
her.
comment that some would let her.
Bow chicka bow bow. Yeah, so I think that this might be it. I think so this will be it for the stream, guys. Thanks for watching. Those on Spotify and RSS, thanks for listening. You can follow Deadhaus Sonata at deadhaussonata.com. That's Haus, like Bauhaus. Deadhaussonata.com. You can follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Deadhaus Game. You can follow our lovely host Faceless Mike on Twitch at what's your Twitch, man? At
twitch.tv/ the Faceless Mike,
and on Twitter at the Faceless Mike, and on
Instagram. Trust me, there's
Mike.
2 Faceless Mikes in the world. One's the guitarist from Los Angeles, the other's me. You're not going to mix us up.
Yep. And, I am Calypso. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Necrolibriatus. I also have a YouTube channel where I post a bunch of Deadhaus Sonata news and a bunch of other random videos. That's also the Necrolibriatus. Pandemic might be changing it.
There's a question for you there, Calypso, before we go.
What is it? What is on your mic? Oh, this is my bat friend. This is my little bat friend. Me.
He's got his little bat friend.
Buddy. He's my streaming buddy. Oh yeah, Godzilla. Yeah, you're just yes. My little bat friend hangs around here, and is my little stream buddy.
It's his emotional support bat.
Yes. He's very soft, very soft. But yes. Yes, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, the Necrolibriatus. If you Google or if you YouTube Deadhaus Sonata, pretty sure the only thing you're going to come up with is the actual Deadhaus Sonata official pages and me.
Yep. Actually, I've done it quite frequently, and it shows up with some Deadhaus, mostly the Necrolibriatus, and then way down the line, it's both of us here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good.
Way down the line. We're fighting that algorithm. We're fighting uphill on that algorithm. Eventually we'll get it.
A plushy roast chicken. I mean, there could be a TY Beanie Baby roast chicken. I might have to look into
I bet you any money after this stream I'm going to Google that. There is a TY roast chicken.
I might have to get it. That's fantastic. So yes, thanks for joining us, guys. This has been Deadhaus Whispers. We will see you all next week. Same time, same place. If Godzilla was bitten by a vampire, would it become Vampzilla or be more like Spider-Man because it's a radioactive lizard getting bitten by a vampire? That is a question.
That's a question for the ages, right? Okay, y'all need to join the Deadhaus Discord and continue that question in there because I want to know the answer.
Find Deadhaus Sonata on Discord. It's everywhere. We're everywhere. Thanks for watching. Deadhaus Whispers. See you guys all in the next one.
See ya.